Hello. Yesterday was Simchat Torah, and so today we begin a new cycle in Torah reading. This week's portion is Bereshit, the first one in the Torah, beginning with, as you know, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, this wording implies that our world had a specific beginning. Now, until 1965, scientists supported the steady-state theory, which calls for an eternal world with no beginning and no end. The universe has always been here. Then, in 1965, new observations confirmed that our world had a sharp, specific beginning, which scientists call the Big Bang. So now science supports the accounts in the Torah. Now, science also says that the universe is 14 billion years old. The evidence is the fossils we find around, the stars far away. We can calculate their distance and find that at the speed of light, it takes billions of years for it to reach us. Now, the resolution of that is that the year is a fluid thing. It is not a fixed thing. In relativity, we learned that time passes faster when you move. It's called time dilation. So it may have been 6 days of creation for someone traveling close to the speed of light relative to the Earth. Specifically, the speed of light minus a billion trillion trillionth the speed of light, which is how fast one must travel to make 14 billion years worth of evolution pass as 6 days. So time is flexible. You may ask, why was God traveling so fast when he created the world? Well, one can say that he had other worlds to create, much as a farmer throws seeds and keeps moving. Now, interestingly, the Midrash and the Zohar tell us that before creating our worlds, God created many worlds and destroyed them because he did not like them. So the sum of the lives of all these worlds could well be 14 billion years, as scientists tell us. So again, we can reconcile the two accounts in that way. Let's find out exactly what the Midrash says. Rabbi Tanhuma said, Ecclesiastes said, God has made everything beautiful in its time. This means that the world was created when it was due, and the world was not fit to be created earlier. Rabbi Abahu said, hence we learn that the Holy One, blessed be He, went on creating worlds and destroying them, until He created heaven and earth, ours. And then He said, these please me, those did not please me. Rabbi Pinchas said, the proof of Rabbi Abahu's statements is, quote, and God saw everything that he has made, and behold, it was very good. That's in Genesis. That is, God saw all that he has made, all the worlds, the good and the bad ones, and behold, only this world was very good. Now, and the Midrash also says, Rabbi Abahu said, wherever it is written, ve'ele, and these, it adds to what was previously said. But wherever it is written, ele, these, without the end, it disqualifies what was previously said. For example, in Genesis 2:4, it says, these, ele, are the generations of the heaven and the earth when they were created. What was disqualified there? God created other heavens and earths, but when he looked at them, they were not pleasing in his sight, so he changed them back into waste and void. But when he looked at this heaven and earth, it pleased him, and he exclaimed, these shall have generations. Unquote. In the book of Isaiah, the prophet says, for behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come to mind. Again, evidence that other worlds were created. In the Siddur, in the prayer book, we call God Adon Olam, Lord of the universe. But we also call him Adon HaOlamim, Lord of the worlds, plural. So this could mean this world and the next, but also the destroyed worlds that we just talked about. Now, how do we know that we're not in a world that will be destroyed? Well, up to a few years ago, we thought we were. We thought that there was a big bang at the beginning, and then at some point the universe would stop expanding and start imploding. It was called the Big Crunch, and then we would disappear into nothingness billions of years from now. Well, actually, the evidence now shows that the universe is accelerating its expansion, showing no sign of slowing down, stopping, and imploding. So no big crunch is predicted. Now one may ask, why did God destroy these worlds? Well, in the Zohar it says God destroyed these worlds because they would not follow the Torah. He asked, and no one would. In our worlds, only Israel did. The Torah is necessary to sustain the worlds. You probably heard this before. Al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. The world rests on three things: on Torah, on worship, and on good deeds. Bereshit also means Bereshit, with Reshit, with the beginning. That is, with the Torah, God created the worlds. Bereshit also contained the words Brit, covenant. So the teaching from the Zohar is that without the Torah, the world cannot sustain itself, and that is built into the fabric of the universe. The Zohar continues, the Torah is the salvation of the worlds. It is in this way that we must understand that God created worlds and destroyed them. Those who do not keep the precepts of the law destroy themselves of their own accounts. Not that God destroys his own works, as some fancy, for why indeed should he destroy his sons? Zohar Hadash and Or HaHayim say that 1,000 worlds were created through the first letter, through the Aleph. That is why Torah begins with the second letter, Bet, Bereshit, Bet. And the source is in the Song of Songs, where it says, you may have the 1,000, O Solomon. Rabbi Levi Yitzhak of Berdichev, the 18th century Hasidic sage, insisted that these worlds still exist somewhere. Everything God created exists forever, he said, and never ceases to be. Now let's move on to the creationist arguments. Now, in fairness to them, it is not an aversion to science that moves the creationists, and it is not displeasure at descending from apes. Their real problem is their aversion to the notion that the world is run by survival of the fittest, by the law of the jungle, by might making right. They ask, what about compassion, mercy, love? We spend a lot of time and money lifting up the fallen, helping the poor and the weak. We don't want to abandon them. Can that really be going against what God intended? That's what troubles them. Now the Zohar, along those lines, says that God intended to create the world purely with justice. Now, the Torah begins with Bereshit bara Elokim. Elokim is God's name that denotes the attribute of justice. So, God intended to create the world purely with justice, with cold equations, a master plan unfolding, but found that it could not endure. So he created with hesed, with loving kindness. Earlier worlds were destroyed because the severe judgment in them was not mitigated by kindness. Tempering judgment with kindness is the foundation of the Sefirah Rahamim, mercy, which equates with emet, truth, the Zohar said. Tikkun ha'olam, the repair of the world, is the pursuit of a balance between kindness and judgment. The prominent mystical commentator Cordovero adds that this balance must be weighted slightly towards kindness. So we conclude, survival of the fittest is correct, but it's only part of the story. Another part is love, kindness, compassion, mercy, and this is not reflected in our physical theories. Shabbat Shalom.